see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feeling like a dynamite, ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan.
Well, a big Sunday in the Premier League, it's fair to say, on this reverse of the opening Premier League weekend. And, folks, we have got the 2 o'clocks to start you off before the heat, the fire, and the excitement of Arsenal v United. On a cool note, though, we start you off with a fixture that finished 0-0 on the opening weekend, which is Aston Villa, as they take on Newcastle.
Time for cities and towns to start dreaming again. Walking in the footsteps of giants. Incredible! I do not believe my eyes. This is extraordinary. Greatness awaits.
Huge day in the Premier League then, folks. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome aboard to Realltom Football. My name is Tom. Bringing the watch-along, folks, this afternoon for Newcastle as they take on Aston Villa live in the Premier League. If you are watching us on the replay, please do make sure you leave a like on the stream and subscribe if you are new. And thank you very much indeed, folks, to everybody's joys here today. Kick-off on the way for you at 2 o'clock in the Premier League as Newcastle are up against Aston Villa, which is the first of two on this Sunday afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome aboard. Hope you're all doing well. And once again, like I say, kickoff is at 2 o'clock for this one. Yes, a big day, really. And Arsenal United, of course, is the main event of it all. We'll get into the heat of that a little bit later on. But there are 3 Premier League fixtures taking place across this 2 o'clock period on this Sunday. Includes Brentford against Forest, Palace, Chelsea, and the game we're watching, Newcastle against Aston Villa. Just a quick update on your TV listings for you. If you do want to give any one of the 3 fixtures a watch, Sky Sports Plus for Brentford against Nottingham Forest, Sky Sports Premier League for Crystal Palace, Chelsea, and Sky Sports Main Event and Sky Sports Main Event on Aston Villa. So Sky Sports Main Event 1. And of course, Sky Sports Main Event and Sky Sports Premier League for Arsenal against Manchester United later on. And in other fixtures, Sassuolo beat Cremonese by 1-0 at 11:30 in the Serie A. Fixtures include Atalanta against Parma and Genoa against Bologna at 2 o'clock. 5 o'clock for Juventus against Napoli. Then a bit of a interesting fixture as Roma take on AC Milan at 7:45. If you're looking for some La Liga, you've got Atletico Madrid 1-0 up against Mallorca right now. Goal scorer for them was Sorloth in the 22nd minute. Other fixtures at 3:15 include Barcelona as they take on Real Oviedo, Real Sociedad against Celta Vigo, and Alabas against Real Betis. 2 games in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich, by the way, lost yesterday at home, which was a bit of a shock. But Borussia Mönchengladbach against Stuttgart and Freiburg against Köln are your 2 games in the Bundesliga. Paris Saint-Germain, I think, played yesterday in the Liga. And right now, EFL Championship 1-1 in the 12 o'clock kickoff between Portsmouth and Southampton. Goal scorers were Cienza and Adams in that one. And it is 1-1 at Fratton Park right now. 2 massive games as well coming to you from the Scottish Premiership in the title race, which include Hearts against Celtic and Rangers against Dundee. In the title race. And of course, if Hearts can get that win and Rangers get the win, Celtic will drop down to 3rd because obviously Rangers and Celtic right now are tied on 44 points. So Hearts with the chance to go another 3 points clear of Celtic. They would in fact, by the end of today, be 9 points clear of Celtic, and Celtic would then be 3 points behind Rangers if Rangers and Hearts both get victories today. 2 massive games though, like I say, in the Scottish Premiership for Hearts against Celtic and Rangers against Dundee. Very nice. Welcome all to you, James. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome aboard. So yes, there you go. Massive games in the Scottish Premiership. Massive surprise as Bayern Munich were defeated in the Bundesliga. Massive games though in the Premier League. Let's get through to PremierLeague.com, where we can look at all the information you need ahead of this Sunday of action. And the games include, once again, Newcastle against Villa, Palace, Chelsea, and Brentford Forest at 2 o'clock. Arsenal United is the main event later at 4:30. And tomorrow there is the Everton Leeds game, which was quite exciting last time round. Leeds, I think, won off a penalty that time. Let's move into the league table where we can take a look at the impacts for Palace, Chelsea, Brentford, Forest, and Newcastle and Aston Villa. So first, we'll start off with Brentford against Forest. where Brentford currently sit on 33 points. They're in 8th at the minute. A singular point for them with a +5 goal difference will move them on to 34 points, level on points with Fulham and Chelsea. They will go above Fulham on goal difference, not Chelsea. The 3 points for Brentford, though, would move on to 36 points. That would be level on points with Liverpool. And as things stand, Brentford have a better goal difference than Liverpool, so they would move above Liverpool and into the top 4 with a victory over Nottingham Forest. And Nottingham Forest themselves could do with a point or 3. If they get 3 points, they'll move on to 25 points, level on points with Leeds. Goal difference, though, they'll have to score probably about 6 or 7 to surpass Leeds, who don't play, of course, until tomorrow. A big game for them at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Palace against Chelsea. Palace started to slip down towards where Leeds and Forest are. But they're on 28 points on a -2 goal difference, and they have the chance to move on to 29 points with a draw. That would be level on points with nobody. They would be a point clear of Spurs and a point behind Bournemouth and Brighton. If they get the 3 points, they'll move on to 31 points, and that would be level on points again with nobody. 1 point behind Everton, dependent on their result tomorrow against Leeds. Of course, they could increase the gap, and a point clear of Brighton and Bournemouth. So goal difference not going to be a factor today for Palace. Their opponents are Chelsea, and they can move on to 35 points with a draw, level on points with United until 4:30. Goal difference is better for Chelsea than Manchester United, so they would move into the 5th place position. If they get the 3 points at Palace, they'll move on to 37 points. That would be a point clear of Liverpool and Brentford if they win, and to within 6 points of Aston Villa. Finally, Newcastle against Aston Villa, which is the game we're watching. Newcastle can move on to 34 points with a draw. Level on points with Fulham and Chelsea, and also with Brentford if they draw their game. +5 goal difference, exactly the same as Brentford. Neck on neck, really, you could say. So, yeah. If they get the 3 points, it'll be the exact same thing for Newcastle. They will move above Liverpool by goal difference and into 4th. Aston Villa are their opponents, and Aston Villa can move themselves to level on points with Manchester City after they beat Wolves yesterday. They'd be on 46 points, 4 points behind Arsenal. Until we play later on, a singular point will move them to within 2 points of Manchester City and to within 6 of Arsenal. And we'll talk about Arsenal United later on. But for now, folks, the league table has been delved through, so let's take a look at our team news. And of course, there it is, the big fixture. The big fixture is down at the bottom there. Very excited for that. And if you do want entertainment from me, you definitely want to join us at 4:15 for that. But let's take a look at, firstly, the form guides, where, as you can see, Newcastle won the last 3 before drawing 0-0 at Wolves. Bit of a mixed bag of form for Aston Villa. Of course, that shock defeat at home to Everton for them, the most recent result. And we're going to start with the villains on team news. So Emi Martinez is in goal. Matty Cash in the back 4 alongside Ezri Konsa, Pau Torres and Ian Martson. Midfield is split into 2 parts, seeing your defensive 2 of Amadou Onana and Yuri Tielemans behind the attacking 3 of Jadon Sancho, Morgan Rogers and Emi Buendia. Leading the front is Ollie Watkins. On the bench for Aston Villa is Victor Lindelof, Tyrone Mings, Harvey Elliott, Luca Digne, Lamar Bogarde, Evan Gesson, Leon Bailey, Marco Bizon and George Hemmings. Then for Newcastle at home, it is Nick Pope in goal, a back 4 of Lewis Hall, Seben Botman, Malik Thiaw and Kieran Trippier. In that back 4 behind the midfield 3 of Joel Linton, Sandro Tonali and Lewis Miley. Then the attacking 3 is Nick Voltemada not starting, Johan Visser preferred over him. And then Anthony Gordon and Harvey Barnes in the main attacking 3 alongside him. On the bench, William Asula Anthony Langer, Nick Voltamada, Joe Willock, Aaron Ramsdale, Dan Burn, Alex Murphy, Jacob Ramsey, and Leo Shahar. Those are your teams. Newcastle against Villa, kicking off in around about 5 minutes' time. Oh, we're just getting a sneak peek of Sky's Arsenal United lineup with David Jones in the Emirates, Mark Chapman, of course, in the Sky Studios as part of the supersized Sunday format. We've got Big Meeks. What's he doing there? Big Meeks, Vieira, and Keane. What does Big Meeks have to do with Arsenal United? I mean, my immediate question is I don't know. Why are you not chucking a weird lineup that? Very surprised, Sky. I've gone with Micah Richards. For such a big fixture. So we'll just try and ignore Micah Richards being in the Emirates for a fixture which does not involve Manchester City by any way, shape or form. It is the red side of Manchester who is to be concerned at the Emirates. And we'll swift over to Newcastle against Villa, where we hope that this time it won't be a 0-0 draw after one of the most boring fixtures the Premier League could have offered on opening weekend, which was only the second fixture as well that we indulged in. And to top things off, it came after a 4-2 win for Liverpool over Bournemouth on a Friday night. Well, let's head over to SofaScore on my phone to get the goal alerts prepared for these two fixtures around this one at 2 o'clock, which are Brentford against Forest and a London derby between Crystal Palace and Chelsea. We will also have goal alerts on for you for those two big games in the Scottish Premiership title race, where Hearts take on Celtic and Rangers take on Dundee. If Hearts beat Celtic and Rangers beat Dundee, Celtic will drop down to third and they will be 3 points behind both Rangers and Hearts. But of course, it'll be a bigger gap between themselves and Hearts. So big day in the Scottish Premiership as well as the Premier League, with Hearts having that chance to pull further away from Celtic with the 3 points at home to them. We'll also keep you updated on the Atletico Madrid scoreline as they currently are 1-0 up against Mallorca right now in the La Liga. And just a reminder for you as well, German Bundesliga, not normally exciting, but yesterday Bayern Munich lost at home to Augsburg. It was a shock result, but Bayern Munich did lose at home. And the standings in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich are 8 points clear of Borussia Dortmund. But strange one, that really. You wouldn't have thought that Augsburg would have beaten them at the Allianz. Yeah, I mean, I predicted a 2-2 draw, to be fair. I wasn't really affected by if Liverpool lost or not, so I wasn't really egging them. You know what I mean? I wasn't really egging Bournemouth on to win. It was exciting that Bournemouth won the game. I was a little bit like, ooh, well there goes me 2-2. I mean, I thought I predicted it bang on 2-2, to be fair. Oh, well, nevertheless, there's still one more opportunity to trigger a jackpot today. And that is, of course, with Coral's Football Super Series on the Arsenal United game. Slot in. Yes, each week on Realltom Football, I have 3 opportunities to trigger a jackpot. Super 6, the Ladbrokes 123, and the Coral Football Super Series. Normally, the Coral Football Super Series is the last opportunity because normally I will have got one score wrong on Super 6 at least. And just for anybody who does want to be updated with our schedules, next week is going to be a quiet midweek on the channel, and also a reminder that this Premier League weekend is the last full Premier League weekend for 2 consecutive game weeks beyond this one. We will be breaking the 3 p.m. blackout as a one-off to watch Leeds against Arsenal in the Premier League next Saturday. There will be no Super Sunday, though, next Sunday, as there is a family event and a 60th birthday to be celebrated on that day. But I will have a very close eye on the Spurs game. And the following game week after next weekend is also a game week where I'm in attendance at the Emirates for Arsenal against Sunderland. So this is your last full Premier League weekend before 2 consecutive weekends where we are absent on either a Saturday or a Sunday. I am an Arsenal fan through and through, Sirkin Zero. Nope, it's not my birthday. I'm not turning 60. No, my birthday is 2 days after the person whose birthday we are celebrating. We are actually celebrating their birthday though on the 1st. Their birthday is the 2nd. My birthday is the 4th. I will be at the Arsenal-Chelsea game on the 3rd. So yes, in that week on my birthday, I will be attending both Arsenal games at home against Sunderland and Chelsea. Tonali, oh, what a chance. It's going to deflect. Is it going to bounce in? No. I mean, the power Tonali got behind that. Joel Linton's ball to him. Simple. Tonali, good technique. It's a good save. The ball deflects back off Martinez. He makes a good save, and it could have bounced in. What a start. So, yes, and it doesn't end there either with my attendances either, because obviously not only will I be attending those 2 games, but also I think the FA Cup weekend is coming after the Brentford game. I will also be going to the Wigan game as well. My real age is 19. I will be 20 in about 9 days. 10. "10 days from this point, I will be 20. I already feel old, to be fair, even though I look so young in my face. Tonali. Let's give it away cheaply. It's intercepted by Rodgers. Watkins has got not too much space on the right-hand side, but he has got the ball at his feet. Ball down the line to Rodgers, wins the first corner of the game. You're 3 years older than me. You're 23. I thought you were in your 40s, Ashik, to be fair. Tielemans then with the corner from the right for Villa. The first of the game. Both teams are wearing their home strips. I just thought you were in your 40s, mate. So all 0-0 at the minute in the 2 o'clocks. Not only in the Premier League, but also in Italy as well. All 0-0. That's a chance. It was just a guess, mate. Anyways, moving on from age, because age is just a number. The number of years, of course, that we've been on Earth. Rogers. To be fair, though, we've been on Earth for a lot longer than what our age is, because obviously, as soon as our mothers are born, really, we are then on Earth, because obviously we are inside our mothers waiting to be germinated. So technically, we're on Earth for longer than what our age is, but only because it's a birth date. Joel Linton, that's going to be pulled back for a free kick by the referee. No, that I don't agree with that. You do die. But what is technical is that you can actually be saved within 7 minutes of dying. There are people who are alive who have died, but there is 7 minutes basically to save you. Yeah, I got a couple of BBs on. So yes, when you die, there is 7 minutes to save you, basically. Kieran Trippier. Ball floated forward, bit too heavy for the chasing Hull. So good to hear that you're supporting Arsenal today against Manchester United. Referee stopped it here. Jared Gillett, the man in charge. Craig Pawson, the referee for later's game. Probably will never happen, to be fair, mate. I don't think I'll ever come to Mauritius. Too far away. Little bit of concern, yeah, but we have to expect to win. Well, we'll see. Maybe in the distant future. Barnes, corner. Looks a little bit frustrated, Barnes, there, but take the corner. We just need a goal, really, in this game to make it exciting, because obviously the last time these two played, it was a 12:30 kickoff. It was 0-0 at Villa Park. It was boring. But we already know how exciting the reverse of the 0-0 draw between Leeds and Newcastle was when Leeds came to James's Park. I underestimated that game. 4-3 it finished. That's in James's Park leg. First game was absolute dog. Goal for Forest. There's been a goal for Nottingham Forest. And that goal has been scored by Igor Jesus against Brentford. So a bit of a surprise there as Forest strike first against Brentford. And, Tiao there got away with one. So Igor Jesus for Forest, who lead at Brentford. I don't expect too many goals to come out of the Palace bit. Yeah, that'll be good if you can get a job in Scotland. Have a look at this goal there for Forest. There you go. Buendia to Watkins. Space opening up for Villa. Ball slipped through to Rodgers, then has nobody to pick out in the box.
This is my current sofa.
Matty Cash to take the throw in. Cut out by Jolins as far as Tielemans. In the Serie A, they lead Parma 1-0. Game's gone a little bit quieter now. Newcastle started brightly. Villa have started to get a bit more of a foothold. It's a good tackle, though. And Barnes, lost the ball quite quickly. You can see that Newcastle are trying to get forward almost all the time in this match at the minute. Villa just gradually getting better in the game defensively. I think they realise that they're going to have to be sitting on the back foot. Gordon, he's done well there. And to the byline, ball across. He did really well. Picked up by Hall. Evades one. Has he got the trickery? Plays it onto Gordon. Has he got the trickery? Deflected and away by Tielemans, but the pressure remains on from Newcastle. Trippier with that fight, that was rubbish by him. And they have got a free back, but a bit of danger here as Rodgers comes forward with Watkins alongside. When Dia joins in, Rodgers, lovely bit of play as he dropped the shoulder. Here comes Villa again. Ian Martin onto Morgan Rodgers. That was a bit of a threat against Everton Villa last week. They need to carry a bit more of that because I don't see that much threat when they come forward still. They are a little bit injury hit. I don't think it was that bad of a defeat either for Villa. I mean, okay, you've lost at home to Everton. It's not something that you want to lose, but I thought that Everton were well worth that victory last week on every level, really. Everton deserved what they got. And this is the thing with Everton. They play really well in some games, but then you see some of these home games where they're losing 2 or 3 against Spurs or whatever at home or Brentford. David Moyes has to find that consistency with away performances and home performances because there's been some really big victories and performances away from home for Everton. Wendy, a great ball. Wendy, oh, what a goal. And the team who've arguably been on the back foot take the lead in a fixture which had goals of nothing in the reverse on opening weekend. Well, what a goal. I mean, Wendy is just toying around on the edge of the box. You think, is he going to cross? Is he going to shoot? I'm surprised that he actually shoots and then it just goes in and I'm like, ooh. But what a strike. So Villa take the lead, probably against the run of play, you'd feel, by the way that Newcastle have started. But Newcastle are the team who have to come from behind. And they do score quite a fair few outside the box. Sky have just put a stat up that says they've scored 13 outside the box this season, Villa. Any other goal alerts to bring you right now? No, not as we speak, but 3 o'clock kickoffs for those two big games that I've been telling you about in the Scottish Premiership, which are big. I mean, if Rangers lose as well as Celtic losing, then it would be a case of Hearts just getting an even bigger gap. But it's a big day for Hearts, really. They're playing Celtic. It's definitely something to keep your eyes on, because they are in search of their first ever Scottish Premiership title. And yeah, maybe it does. And I think they've been quite consistent this season. Can't say we've been consistent. Problem here for Sandro Tonali, who is down, receiving treatment. Did get a nice solid 3-0 win in midweek after a board draw against Wolves Newcastle. And whilst we've got this stoppage in play, let's have a look at the Champions League, which, of course, on Wednesday is in its final day. Of the league phase. All games at 8 o'clock. And Newcastle are going up against Paris Saint-Germain, which is a really difficult game for them. It is an easy one for Arsenal and Liverpool. Liverpool are against Qarabağ. Arsenal away, at home to Kairat Almaty. Spurs will be away to Eintracht Frankfurt. And for Manchester City and Chelsea, Napoli away, Chelsea will lose that. Galatasaray at home for City, I would expect them to win. Game is back underway. Morgan Rogers. Chance for Cash. Blocks. Sonali. Barnes on the right. He's got the overlap of Trippier. I wouldn't use it, to be fair. Yeah, Pau Torres came against. Yep. Anthony Gordon, not a great cross. There was also news that broke yesterday about Spurs considering Graham Potter as an option to be their next manager. And this comes as a result of him being spotted next to injured Dejan Kulusevski in the stands at the Dortmund game. So, yeah. News today, though. I haven't seen that much news, but obviously yesterday there was that. Yeah, that news doesn't tend to come through to me. Yeah, I tend to get news more or less from the big two leagues, really, in England. So there is still a stoppage in the match. Yeah, Cash and Onana were down. Both of them tried to tackle Joe Linton, who stayed on his feet the entire time. And have both appeared to injure themselves in making the tackles. No goal alerts to bring you from the other two games. Back underway then with a drop ball in Newcastle. Miley clips one. Can Trippier execute something? He's won a corner off Victor Lindelof. Martinez can take his time here. If you haven't already, make sure you're smashing a like on the stream. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Here's Pau Torres for Villa. Plays it back to Martinez. We've passed the half-hour mark. We're in the 32nd minute now. Here's Lewis Miley on the move for Newcastle. And the cross, Vista was there. They've had the numbers back most of the time, Villa, to be fair. Was Vista caught there? I don't think he was. Yeah, Vista, I think Vista's going to get a booking here, is he? Ooh. Goal for Chelsea at Palace. And the opener there has been scored in the 34th minute by Estevao. So Estevao on the score sheet for Chelsea, who lead 1-0 at Palace in the 34th minute. So all the scores right now, 1-0 to the away team in these Premier League 2 o'clock kickoffs. Bit surprised that Brentford haven't found a response against Forest yet, to be fair. Bit uncharacteristic of Brentford to concede early and not respond. Tielemans to Martin. And Yuri Tielemans again. Pau Torres, right, they're going to show us the goal. Yeah, it's a good run and a good goal. From the halfway line, top goal by Aston to break the deadlock there. Watkins got a bit of space ahead of Trippier. Trippier got back at him. It's a goal kick. Surprised that didn't go for a corner. There you go. It's a full by Pope. Newcastle haven't really had any chances. Jadon Sancho for Villa. Down that right. Ball across. Pretty rubbish. Comfortable clearance for Botman. Ian Martson. Pau Torres. And on to Yuri Tielemans. Amadou Onana. Sancho, nice play by Villa. Rogers' ball. Buendia was beaten to it. And yeah, there wasn't that much of a presence in Villa bodies in that box. Gordon, he wins a free kick, but the goal was against the run of play, and it appears to have completely changed the run of play for Newcastle. And you think back to how early we could have had a goal from Newcastle as well with that Tonali chance. Lewis Miley. Kieran Trippier. Crossed by Miley. It's a good one, but Concert jumped the highest and got an intervention. It's quite a dangerous ball. And you feel as if Concert didn't jump there and intervene, Joelinton would have been able to regenerate the danger. Chance for Trippier to create some danger from the corner. Bit of an overload on that far side. And it was in towards Visser. It was very deep. Villa get out. And they clear the ball. And Martson might be released. Pope comes out. And Pope does really well. And it falls perfectly to the feet of Joelinton, who had the outball to get it to Miley. And Joelinton, he's surely won a free kick there, no? Rogers giving it away cheaply. Visser, Trippier, Thiaw. Trippier. Malik Thiaw to Sandro Tonali, who had Newcastle's first chance of the game inside the first minute or two, which could have been the opening goal. Probably should have been as well. Gordon through to Miley, slipped through. Is Barnes onside? Harvey Barnes, can he get it to Visser? Martinez with the claim, and yeah, as I suspected, offside anyway. Last couple of minutes starting to create a little bit more Newcastle. I remember watching Newcastle a couple of weeks ago now, back when they played City at home, and how poor the performance was. It looked like they just surrendered, really. There isn't that much consistency in the way that Newcastle play this season. Anthony Gordon down that left, taking on Cash. They are starting to rebuild in the game. I don't want to say that they're building, as in they played poor all game, because before the goal went in, they were playing better side, Newcastle. Probably want half time just to maybe get the managers to re-spark them a bit. Looking like they need a new lease of life, really. Wendy went for one. Not a bad effort. Not a bad effort. By Sancho, but it will be from here's Tonali. Slips one. I think Tonali should have taken that himself, to be fair. Slips it into Gordon. Too much on it for Vista. Does reach Barnes. Miley. Tonali lets it run. Joelinton needed more power. Botman keeps it alive. Miley, oh, what a header. And a great save by Martinez, and the corner prevented as well. I still think Tonali should have gone all the way, though, through the centre himself in the first place of that attack. Trippier. Well, biggest chance is the Villa goal for Newcastle. That header from Miley. And Martinez, a big goalkeeper with a big save. Trippier back to Nick Pope into the last 90 seconds of the 45. Botman applying pressure to Morgan Rogers. Can't quite nick the ball. He's got Gordon joining in. No panic there, though, and it was sent forward by Villa, but Watkins couldn't really get any purchase on his touch of the ball. Last minute, onto Miley, Trippier. Can Newcastle get it forward one last time to try and generate an equalising goal before the break? I don't think we're going to get much added time. Maybe 2 minutes because of the injury stoppage with the two Villa players who tried to tackle Tonali, or Joe Linton rather. Well, Barnes has done well. Was it going to fall to Joe Linton? Good foot in by Nana. Well, it is double my guess. 4 minutes out of time at the end of the first half. 4 minutes in added time. Joe Linton, is that going to be a corner? Martinez taking his time to pump that one forward. I do think Watkins and Rodgers have struggled to get forward a bit. From the Villa point of view, I know that Villa have obviously been better since their goal. But I do think Watkins and Rodgers have both struggled to get involved. Haven't seen them have many touches. Newcastle definitely finishing the half on a stronger note. However, here's a chance here. And Watkins is one-on-one with Hall. And he might play it onto Sancho, does, and it was a mistimed pass completely. If I'm honest with you, Watkins, he had the overlap of Sancho, but he should just shoot. Here comes Newcastle's break. Miley on Trippier. Joe Linton tackled by Martson. Joe Linton not winning the foul. And the counter, Tielemans, Rodgers down the left. Probably needs a man to play it to. Thiago got in the way, wins a corner. Final minute of first half stoppage time. It goes, it misses everybody, that corner. Not the best. Miley Last couple of seconds. Tiao to Gordon. Joel Linton for Newcastle. Referee's going to blow if you don't get it into the box. Gordon's ball towards Visser, straight at Martinez, and that will invite, you would imagine, the half-time whistle, in which it does. And a half of 3 parts. Newcastle dominant up until Villa's shock goal against the run of play. A brilliant strike by Buendia. Villa then dominated, but Newcastle end the half on a strong point, but are still 1-0 down. Half-time score, it's Newcastle 0, Villa 1. And let's take a look at the other games which are happening in the Premier League and in football across this Sunday. Right now, Atalanta 2-0 up against Parma in the Serie A. Martin Deroon, the second goal scorer for them after Gianluca Scamacca scored from the spot to make it 1-0. So Atalanta 2, Parma 0. And Bologna have the lead at Genoa with a goal from Lewis Ferguson on 35 minutes to put them a goal ahead. In La Liga, it is now 3-0 to Atletico Madrid in the 92nd minute of 3 minutes of added time at the end, looking like a confident, solid win for Atletico Madrid. And it kicked it off at 3:15. Barcelona against Real Oviedo. Harper's 2 kickoff, Mönchengladbach 0, Stuttgart 0 in the Bundesliga. 3-1 to Nice, away to Nantes in French Liga. And 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Scottish Premiership. 2 huge games in the title race as Hearts take on Celtic and Rangers are against Dundee. Half-time scores, though, in the Premier League. Brentford 0, Nottingham Forest 1. That is just about to hit half-time, actually. Palace 0, Chelsea 1. And Newcastle 0, Villa 1. So 1-0 to all the away sides in the Premier League at 2 o'clock. And if you need any reminder, Hoppers 4, Arsenal, Manchester United is what we have for you coming up at 4:15. You don't want to miss it. It is a big occasion. We will keep you posted on what happens then across the games that are taking place. But yeah, like I say, full-time whistle is due any minute now with a lead, which is going to see them win for Atletico Madrid 3-0 up against Mallorca. And yeah, 3:15 La Liga. Barcelona do kick off against Real Oviedo. So yeah, that is what is going on right now. And yeah, like I say, a half really of 3 parts in this one. Let's have a look at the other 2 games, see how it's gone for Palace and Chelsea. So Palace have had more attack momentum, but Chelsea getting their goal, actually what looks to be a counter-attack, really, because obviously their goal came right in the middle of a Palace attack spike. And the stats have shown that it's been 50-50 on possession. XG, both really similar. Palace just dominate on that front. Both had 2 big chances, more shots from Chelsea. Sanchez has had to make 1 save. No saves for Dean Henderson. More corners for Chelsea. And the 1 card. And then Brentford against Forest. Yeah, so Brentford, good start. And then a massive blue phase, really, of attack for Forest and domination. And then Brentford did finish the half strongly. The stats, though, actually, Brentford have dominated the ball. They've got a better XG. But they're 1-0 down. So, yeah, 3 games on this Sunday, all 1-0 to the away teams. Wendy with the goal in this one. And Sky are showing us that goal now. It is a great technique. Right into the side netting. Left-hand side of the goal. Dips as well. Yeah, this is the first Tonali chance that I've mentioned to you. And yeah, that should have been the opening goal. But let's take a check on some of our BBs. Just want to tick the bet builders off. I've dropped my pen. That's marvellous. That is marvellous that I've dropped my pen. Check on the poll for you. 4 votes. Yeah, quiet chat today, I must say. And it is 50-50. 2 votes Newcastle, 2 votes Villa. And yeah, just the one booking in the game so far in the first half. Joel Linton did get shown the card. Final whistle has gone. Atletico Madrid 3, Mallorca 0. Final score in La Liga. Atletico Madrid 3-0 winners against Mallorca. 3 o'clock kickoff. Scottish Premiership just about to get underway. And they are big uns as well. Hearts against Celtic and Rangers against Dundee. Goal alerts are on for both of those 2 games. And there has just been a goal as well in the Mönchengladbach-Stuttgart game, where there was a missed penalty for Mönchengladbach not too long ago. And then obviously Stuttgart have now just scored. And the opener in that game Whilst we wait for the goal scorer confirmation of that Stuttgart goal, Hearts and Celtic have kicked off. Rangers against Dundee will kick off momentarily as well. But Jamie Llewellyn has got that opener for Stuttgart against Borussia Mönchengladbach away. Final score in the Championship today. A South Coast derby between Portsmouth and Southampton. Finished 1-1. Ibu Adams with the Portsmouth equaliser after Leo Cienza got the opener for the Saints in the 57th minute. 1-1 it finished. Just take a check of the Championship table. Right now, the gap between Coventry and Borough is just 3 points at the top of the EFL Championship. But if Coventry get a win away to Norwich tomorrow, which is a Monday night game for them, then that gap will go back to 6 points. But currently, it is a 3-point gap between Borough and Coventry. Coventry are currently 8 points clear of Ipswich and Hull, who are both level on points. And 5 points clear for Borough of Ipswich and Hull in that top 6, with Millwall from 49 points, and then Wrexham just in that top 6 as well on 44 points at the minute. Watford not too far behind on 43. Then you've got Derby County and Stoke City on 42 points. Preston North End also hanging around. And Norwich just starting to climb away from the relegation zone. They are a point clear of Blackburn Rovers, who are in 22nd on 29 points. Level on point with Portsmouth. Currently, the relegation zone stands as Sheffield Wednesday on -7. They're going to go down, you would imagine. Oxford and Blackburn Rovers also in there. Second half is back underway at Selhurst Park. Palace 0, Chelsea 1. And we will keep you updated on any goals that do go in across the games during these 2 o'clock kickoffs. Of course, yeah. And we are probably about a couple of minutes away from getting back underway at St James's Park for the second half between Newcastle and Villa, where Newcastle are growing, but can they find? I'm all right, thank you. Good to see you in. Welcome aboard to Kamar. And there's the Estefao goal. What a finish by him as well. And currently that is a correct score for me. Palace 0, Chelsea 1 was the prediction that I put down on Super 6. Let's have a look at the Forest goal. Ola Aina dug out the cross and Igor Jesus. Tidy. So, goals for Palace and Brentford that will hurt in favour of Forest, and Chelsea away. Can Newcastle find their way against Aston Villa? No. And they are back live on Sky now. Women's Champions Cup semi-finals. They are both taking place at the G-Tech Community Stadium, and Arsenal women are involved. The final of that is at the Emirates as well. Of course, I won't be at the Emirates for the Women's Champions Cup final, but I will be at the Emirates in February for 3 straight games against Sunderland, Chelsea, and Wigan. Of course, at the Emirates is our focus next, and it is one of the country's biggest fixtures because it is Arsenal against Manchester United, 4:30. Second half is underway then. Newcastle 0, Villa 1. Yes, we'll be doing that Everton-Leeds game. And we'll have a close eye as well on Norwich as they take on Coventry City. And of course, it is a fixture where Coventry won't want to drop points because if they do, then it could be catastrophic and goal for Celtic at Hearts. This all chance laid off beautifully. Yeah, there will be a Champions League on Wednesday. No, nothing on Tuesday. Tuesday is a quiet day. Clark is in here. Welcome aboard, Aidan. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Celtic then, a goal up against Hearts, which is a big game in the title race. And Benjamin Nygren with that opener for Celtic. Well, just as I turn my head back to the screen, game is stopped and Chelsea 2-0 up. And João Pedro has added the second for Chelsea at Crystal Palace. So Palace 0, Chelsea 2. And Joel Linton has a problem. I think he started every game this season, so I would not be surprised if there was a bit of an injury there. I can see Jacob Ramsey being readied, just in case he is needed as a replacement. The appearance against his former club, of course, as well. For Jacob Ramsey. And the change is going to be made. It's Joel Linton being replaced by Jacob Ramsey. And hopefully for Newcastle, it's nothing too serious for Joel Linton because Bruno Guimaraes, the captain, is one of the absentees. Yeah, he's one of the longest serving players, really, at Newcastle, Joel Linton. One of the few, actually, that survived the kind of shake-up when they, yeah, really. Ramsey to Tonali. Kieran Trippier. Sven Botman. Anthony Gordon blocked by Cash. That will be a throw. Lewis Hall with the front. Ramsey. And Ramsey again. Tonali. Trippier. Give it away cheaply. Bit sloppy that. Also a bit too heavy for pass to release Watkins. Well, we'll see. Visser, chance here. Slip. See, why did he turn back? Why did he turn back? It's a clear-cut chance. Oh. Barnes with the effort. I'm Arsenal loyal as well. I mean, yeah, you have to stick with your team through thick and thin. Jacob Ramsey. Ball slipped down the line for Gordon. Oh, so that's going to be a throw. Three, 2-4. What do you mean 3-2-4? The formation. It's a foul. The Newcastle player's frustrated there. It's not, I mean, it's a push. Do you think some of the fouls that have been given by the ref have been a little bit... I think Newcastle have had a few where they haven't got... You know... Oh, free at the back. I mean, you're supposed to have Trippier, Hall, Botman and Thiaw at the back. I mean, it does say you played a 4-3-3. Wind up, Merchant, buddy. Wind up, Merchant. We are better than Chelsea, and you know it. We will be going to the Carabao Cup final, and Gordon should have scored that. Oh, that was more like it from Newcastle. What a ball. And Barnes should try and head that. Precisely. We'll always be better than Chelsea. I'll just ignore you, buddy. Because I know that Chelsea fans are delulu. We won't lose anyway. If we do, I'll be furious. Breaks for Rodgers. All good effort. And Pope with a touch. Shouldn't go for a corner. Hall should get it cleared. Does. It's Voldemort on the bench for Newcastle. Yeah, could do with taking Visser off. Don't think he's having that much of an impact. Right, teams are in. Teams are in for the Aston Man United game. It is Gabriel Jesus up front for some reason. Rangers have scored against Dundee FC. Let's have a look at the teams then. Aston Man United, 4:30 kickoff. And Chelsea are running away in the second half. They have been awarded a penalty. And the teams for Arsenal Man United then are to follow as David Raya in goal, Urian Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel and Nkapie at the back. Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Martin Odegaard in midfield. Why? Why him? Saka, Trossard, Jesus. I'd rather Gyökeres start, to be fair. On the bench, Kepa, Mosquera, Ben White, Eze, Martinelli, Victor Gyökeres, Madueke, Camarino, Lewis Skelly. And for Man United, Flixie has joined us. Welcome aboard, Tiago. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. For United, I can't find their lineup. Visser, Gordon, chance. Goal's been ruled out for Rangers. Goal been ruled out for Rangers. Trying to find Man United's team. They have got Lamans, Mainu, Luke Shaw, and Burmo, Casemiro, Ahmad, Dorgu, Fernandez, Martinez, Maguire, Dallo. Almost to the hour mark, Newcastle 0, Villa 1. And yeah, we'll be starting at 4:15 for Arsenal United, which is next on the channel. Not more dominant when it comes to shots. Newcastle the second half, 5 shots for them to Villa's 1. Need to get the goal on. Although there's space here for Leon Bailey, who's just come on. And he missed, but Chelsea have scored. And Enzo Fernandez makes it 3-0 to Chelsea. I'm firing. So it is 3-0 Chelsea then. And their latest scorer, Enzo Fernandez, adding their third. And Palace 0, Chelsea 3. Villa corner here. Tielemans to take. Half hour to go. And I think it was a Newcastle touch. Comes back out to Tielemans. And the last touch was off a Villa player, I think. And Pau Torres didn't keep it in. Goal kick Newcastle. And the changes, yeah. Take Visser off, man. No surprise that Nick Voltemada's coming on to replace Jan Visser. Voltemada probably should have started. And the other change for Newcastle is Anthony Gordon replaced by Anthony Elanga. Tammy Abraham. Why? What's happened with Tammy Abraham? Has he moved or something, or? I'm now curious. He plays for Besiktas. So no, Besiktas is, I don't even know where that is, so no. Leon Bailey came back off Rodgers, intercepted by Tonali. Had a fairly good game, Tonali, actually. Trippier, Elanga, down the line, on the right, space, and he's not going to keep it in. Went out. They've definitely brought pace onto the pitch with Elanga. So Flick sent me a TikTok. Yeah, I'm having a look now. Oh, he's going to Aston Villa, is he?
Deal done for the English striker who returns to the Premier League and joins Aston Villa from the Besiktas. Verbal agreement is done. 21 million euros fixed fee.
Hey, well, okay. Probably a waste of money from Aston Villa's point of view, I would say. Lewis Hall and chance for towards Barnes. Tia won it. Barnes to Hall. Good cross. Elanga blocked off and prevented the corner. Did Emi Martinez. Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins for Aston Villa. Altamada tackle, but do you want a goal from Newcastle, really? Miley gets away from Buendia. Tielemans across. Evades Tielemans. Good run by Miley. Bit too heavy of a cross for Altamada. Hall following up on Bailey, and there's big appeals to handball. Well, Newcastle come again, but Ramsey, Hall. Think it's going to be a Newcastle ball. Does hit Bailey's arm, but it was outside the box, is what the verdict is on that handball appeal. Strong handball appeal. It's a great tackle from behind. Tielemans was nudged. He's rolled around on the floor, but Villa have got 2 players down, but Newcastle entitled to play on. Ball into the box, away by Pau Torres. Corner it will be. Rodgers back up. Tielemans still down. The Villa players aren't happy that Newcastle played on, but they're entitled to. There was a bit of a nudge from Miley on Tielemans, but it's a fair tackle. Yuri Tielemans eventually back up and limping though. Villa change is about to happen. Dinia and Bogada. And Tielemans is hobbling into the box to help out. Hall's corner, a good header away. Back by Tonali, but no Newcastle touch. And Jared Gillett is now calling for medics because Tielemans has gone back down. And he is clearly in some excruciating pain. Did well to hobble back to help out defensively, but it's getting worse for Palace against Chelsea. They're 3-0 down. And Adam Walton has been sent off. Well, as Yuri Tielemans receives treatment from the Villa medics, chance for some Villa players to get some drinks down them. I think that angle that Sky just shown us, Miley catches him in the back of the calf. Well, he's back up Yuri Tielemans, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to continue. Probably did himself more damage by running back to help out defensively. Are Villa going to get to make their changes, are they? They are short on numbers in midfield, so I think it's going to be Lucadini and Tyrone Mings. By Bailey. Ollie Watkins. By Cash, now Concert. Yeah, Bogart's emerged now. Triple change, Villa. Miley here for Newcastle. I think Villa are still down to 9 men, are they? Tielemans still on the pitch. Back on the pitch. Don't think he is. Tonali. Out wide to Barnes. That left. Barnes, poor ball. Had no awareness of where Hall was. Wasteful. Concession of the throw by Cash. And Villa are now going to make their changes. Triple change is Lucadini, Lamar Bogarda and Tyrone Mings on to replace Pau Torres. And Emi Buendia, who scored the goal, which separates these two teams. So Pau Torres, Emi Buendia, and Yuri Tielemans replaced by Tyrone Mings, Lucadini, and Lamar Bogarda. Yuri Tielemans will likely be going down the tunnel to receive further treatment and inspection on that calf area, which caused him the discomfort. "15 minutes to go. Newcastle been a lot more dominant in attacking sense second half. Can they find the equaliser? Miley gobbled up by Martinez. They have struggled for clear-cut chances, Newcastle. Got to try and be a bit inventive if they're going to get a point. Delia to Ian Martson. Rogers fends off Botman. Rogers. No, that's not a foul. Tiao clears it. And Elanga. Voltamada through the middle. Can Elanga create something? No. Deflected off Mings. Tonali. Lewis Miley. Anthony Elanga. In towards Voltamada. Vital intervention by Konsa, who got his head there before Voltamada did. Great defended by Ezri Konsa. Second time I've seen him do that this match. Lovely ball by Elanga, really. And that was a very good catch by Martinez, I thought, actually. But he's gone down. It's his lower back. He's huffing and puffing. Does get a nudge in the back. And he just feels something. Goes down. It's into Martson's path. Hall does well. That's a foul on Elanga. And it's going to be a card for Dina, yeah. Question is, can Newcastle find a goal? It's nasty by Dina. Not a good challenge. But Dina probably prevented a bit of danger coming from Elanga there. .11 minutes to go, and that's a straightforward catch by Martinez. Pope came out for that one. Bailey's got a bit of open space, but Quickly closed down. Ooh, tussle with Tonali. I don't think for Bailey. I think Sandro Tonali's been caught on his lower back there. Back up. Martin twisting and turning. Tonali going into challenge. That's a foul on Rodgers. Probably going to get himself booked there, Tonali. Still holding that lower back area. I mean, Bailey goes over the top of Tonali. It's accidental, but his knee does land on the back of Tonali, which is probably what Tonali's feeling his lower back for. So Villa free kick. There is a 4-man Newcastle wall with a Villa wall as well. Tactical one next to it. And they have not put a low block down, Newcastle. It's now a 5-man wall. Well, yeah, you've got Tonali and Ramsey sort of disconnected. Taking a while to get the free kick taken. And Rodgers catching practice for Nick Pope. And Newcastle need to really start launching here. Tonali, play. Lewis Hall. Sven Botman. Diana, how are you doing? Good to see you. I'll go ball to you. They've got to speed up Newcastle. It's all right. I knew what you meant. Jacob Ramsey for Newcastle. And Miley. Ilanga's ball, not the best. Offside anyway. Second goal for Forest at Brentford. Big win for Forest, you have to say. Yeah. Newcastle poor. Home again. But Forest, Taiwo Awoniyi with that second for them. And they have a 2-0 lead at Brentford. That is a surprise result because they're going to get a clean sheet, I think. So, yeah, second Forest goal scorer is Taiwo Awoniyi for 2-0. Yeah, probably won't happen until next season, though. I don't think FSG will sack. I'm not sure Arne Slot's going to resign. You don't often hear of Dutch managers resigning. Well, Palace have got a goal back against Chelsea. There is a consolation in there for them. But purely a consolation, being down to 10 men and were 3-0 down. But 3-1 in that game. And the Palace goal scorer against Chelsea. I am dying alive for the Aston Man United game, of course. I mean, it's enjoyable for neutrals. Still waiting on that Palace goal scorer confirmation for you, but it is 3-1. And there you go. Chris Richards with that goal for Palace. And a consolation against Chelsea for them. 3-1. The surprise, though, of the day. Arteta out if we lose or draw. Because City have won. Gap is now 4 points. Well, Watkins could go through the middle here. Had a go from range. Corner will be off Pope. Good save. Well, the big one is coming up at 4:15 as Newcastle still failing to find a way against Aston Villa. 4:30 kickoff for one of the biggest games in the Premier League's calendar. And that's to Watkins, 2-0 game, set and match. Poor from Newcastle. Not inventive enough. Not taking the chances. This shouldn't happen to them at home. But it is again. It's another 2-0 defeat at home. The inconsistencies are appearing. Confident 3-0 win in midweek against PSV. And Aston Villa, off the back of a home defeat to Everton, are allowed to come to St James's Park and go and grab all 3 points, score 2 goals. And Newcastle have played okay. But for Villa, it's been easy, really. There hasn't been that much threat on Martinez's goal. There hasn't been clear-cut chances. There hasn't even been a goal from Newcastle. The match is set. What a poor Newcastle performance again at home. They were shocking against Manchester City. Weren't great against Wolves. Had a good game in midweek, but here, this is just terrible. And we are in the last minute. Harvey Barnes for Newcastle. It's a great run by Harvey Barnes. And the shot blocked again. Baltimore. Lewis Hall. Ramsey. Miley. Ball into the box. Ball appeals again. 8 minutes out of time. I still don't think Newcastle will score at this point. To be fair, it's a harsh call, but I would argue Newcastle possibly need to move on from Eddie Howe. Because for me, this season, the inconsistencies are becoming more bare. No, this shouldn't happen to Newcastle at home. A fixture they won 5-1 last season. A fixture that they largely dominate. Not good. Two minutes of the 8 added on gone. Yellow cards being brandished by Jared Gillett, the ref. The Premier League's getting to that point of just most of the games being not good. And that's something that has to change. It's probably why I'm starting to attend games more and getting more hungry for it, phrase. Probably why I'm starting to swift more towards Arsenal's way in terms of attending the games, because of just nothing exciting really anymore to sit around at home for. Oh, we know that. Yeah, Arteta out, and always will be Arteta out from my point of view, even if he wins the league. I do want a managerial change at Arsenal. I mean, I think Newcastle need to move on from Eddie Howe. To be fair, they've got a great squad of players, but they're not performing. Eddie Howe hasn't done an awful lot wrong, but I would say at the end of the season, Eddie Howe needs to move on. Because at this point, Newcastle ain't going to get Champions League. And with all the money in the world, they're the richest club in the world, for crying out loud, and they aren't They aren't consistent. Last season they were good. This season, rubbish, really. Well, I have no doubt that entertainment will come your way at 4:15 for the 4:30 kickoff of Arsenal, Manchester United. Most certainly, there'll be entertainment from you just watching me, but hopefully we get an entertaining game as well as you just watching me and getting entertained. Tackle was a good by Botman. Another surprise result today. Brentford 0, Forest 2 is a big win for Forest, but a surprise from the Brentford point of view. Palace being beaten 3-1 by Chelsea. And the full-time whistle's just gone at Sellers Park as well. Final score is 3-1. Martin goes down, no penalty, no foul. Full-time whistle at Brentford as well. A 2-0 defeat to them, but a big win for Nottingham Forest. One of the more interesting games this weekend, Fraser, eh? Surprise, most certainly, with that result. But your route to entertainment is not far away. We expect entertainment tomorrow out of Everton Leeds. But there is entertainment at 4:30 to be expected out of Arsenal United, which is a game that we really need to win. And this is the reverse of the opening Premier League. Yeah. And the full-time whistle. Rubbish Newcastle. An easy-ish win for Aston Villa. A bad one from Newcastle's point of view. Final score, Newcastle 0, Villa 2. And you can judge it at 4:15 for Arsenal against Manchester United, which is next.